Councilor Ritchie, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have everybody on board. It is now 5:33 p.m., April the 8th, 2021. I hereby call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Councilor Peggy, could you please lead us in invocation?
Thank you, Mayor. While I'm coming before you this evening in a special meeting for special purpose for our community, we ask that you grant the situation and you make it work out in the best interest of our community. We ask also for blessings over Stephen Salazar's family and his future in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Please be seated. Mr. Rono, could you please take a roll and determine a quorum?
Mayor Pro Tem Dennis Kim Salazar,
Present.
Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez, as usual. Councilor Justin Salazar Torres,
Present.
Councilor John Romantillo,
Present.
Councilor Manuel J. Martinez,
Present.
Councilor John L. Ritchie,
Present.
Councilor Denise D. Benavides, present. Councilor Dorothy C.D. Valdez,
Present.
Mayor Javier E. Sanchez.
Present.
Bill 4.
Very good. Can we take a motion for the approval of the agenda? Motion to approve. Second.
To approve.
We have a motion from Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez with a second from Councilor Justin Salazar Torres. Is there discussion? Seeing none, can we take a roll call vote?
Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez, in favor. Councilor John L. Ritchie,
In favor?
Councilor Justin Salazar Torres,
In favor?
Councilor John Romantillo,
Point of order.
Councilor Manuel J. Martinez,
In favor?
Councilor Denise D. Benavides, in favor. Councilor Dorothy C.D. Valdez.
For the motion.
Motion carries.
Very well, thank you very much. We'll now move on to items proposed for council consideration, discussion, and action items. The appointment of temporary municipal judge. And before we open the floor for any nominations, I'd like to just briefly discuss what has taken place and where we find ourselves. Last week, we received a letter of resignation from then Judge Mr. Stephen Salazar, which left a vacancy for the municipality of Espanola. Our state and city ordinances leave little room for interpretation, but also leave little room for understanding about how quickly we must fill this space. The need to fill that position comes hastily because of the fact that we need to be aware of and maintain people's rights who have warrants and also require due process. That need has inspired us to come together today in order to determine who the temporary municipal judge will be. At the end of that temporary time period, we'll then select a judge for the remainder of the time up until the next municipal election, which will be held in March of 2022. The current position for temporary when filled will certainly have the opportunity to continue that position till the March 2022 election, or the council is also capable of making a different selection at that time. We are here today according to section 23-12 of the municipal code, temporary municipal judge. I'll just read one or two of the lines in order for us to understand what it is we're here to do. The appointment by, and this is letter B, the appointment by city council of the municipal judge becomes unable or unavailable to perform the duties of municipal judge and has failed to appoint temporary judge. The city council shall appoint a temporary judge who shall serve until the regular municipal judge returns to his duties. City council declares a vacancy in the office of municipal judge due to the death, removal, resignation, or other circumstance causing a vacancy is provided by NMSA 1978, section 10.3.1. It may appoint a temporary judge to serve until a successor municipal judge has been duly appointed by the city council pursuant to NMSA 1978, section 35.4. Qualifications for this judge must be a U.S. citizen, a registered qualified elector of the city, and he or she shall reside within the corporate limits of the city. That having been said, when we take any motions for nomination, it's also important that we declare in that motion a vacancy in the office of municipal judge and then the nomination. We will now begin that process. Do we hear a motion?
Motion to appoint Mr. Martino Martinez as our temporary municipal judge in the vacancy of municipal judge for a period of 8 weeks.
Very well. Do we have a second?
Second,
We have a motion from Councilor John Ramon Vigil, which is to declare a vacancy in the office of municipal judge and declare Mr. Martino Martinez as the temporary judge for 8 weeks. And we have a second from Mayor Pro Tem Dennis Tim Salazar. Before we go on to discussion, are there any other nominations that this body shall at this time consider? Seeing none, for discussion, Mayor Pro Tem Dennis Tim Salazar.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'm very honored to support Mr. Martin Martinez to be our temporary municipal judge. I think Mr. Martinez has a great record as an attorney, as well as, honored to say that Mr. Martinez was also our city attorney for the city of quite a few years back, about 15 years back, I think. So yeah, so you have a qualification, sir, and I'm very proud to support you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Congressman. Do you have any other comments or questions from councilors? Councilor John Ramon Vigil?
Under discussion, I really am appreciative of your qualifications and such that you'll bring to the court and your experience. You can hit the ground running, Mr. Martinez. I hope that you'll consider being an applicant for the interim, and I hope that this council will consider standing behind someone of your caliber to be able to handle this for the next 9 months, less on the term. And it's important that we can continue the processes for our municipal court, all our citizens, and uphold our city ordinance and city code. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. So first and foremost, I'd like to shout out Mr. Jose Zamorano for without him having the heart, there's no money. Some good things are happening here. I would have not known that. So I really appreciate Mr. Zamorano's guidance on this situation. And thank you also for what you've done in this situation and fighting somebody that is non-political, with all the conversations that we so desperately need. One other thing I'd like to mention is that we certainly need to appreciate the staff that has been able to hold up their end of being definitely time periods of time. I'm sure it was difficult, strong, a lot of things coming over them. And sure was hard, but we certainly appreciate the staff. The other thing I'll say is that we need to support the situation that the department, whatever we can, maintain the professionalism and make sure that this humble stand behind somebody that can keep it on.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Councilor. Do we have any other councilor comments or questions? Councilor Denise Benavides.
Also, Mayor, thank you so much. Mr. Martinez, such a review that I thank you so much for standing up. I definitely want to express my gratitude also to you for stepping up to the plate, asking it, and just showing interest in the position. I did review the resume, and it is difficult to find someone that can jump into a situation and a position that has your background. So I really appreciate that. Hope that, again, as my fellow councilor said, that you do consider staying on for the rest of the term. I think that your knowledge and experience is something that is difficult to find, especially in this day and age. And so thank you so much for that. And I appreciate working together and getting it done.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Councilor. Any other, Councilor Justin Salazar Torres?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Martinez, in reviewing of your resume, sir, I was blown away. I'm gonna basically repeat what everybody else has already said, but I look forward to your leadership. I look forward to working with you. And hopefully here soon we can say welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Pro Tem, Dennis Salazar, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize our mayor, Mayor Sanchez, for your hard work, for your legwork, and helping for this to happen. As mentioned before, I think this is a very, and should be, non-political position for the best interest of our city, our constituents, and again, Mr. Martinez is a great choice for this, and I think you will hit the ground running as well, sir. And thank you, Mayor Sanchez, for your leadership. Appreciate that, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilor Manny Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to echo Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Mayor, for searching and looking for someone highly qualified for this position. I look forward to Mr. Martinez entering that role and too as well. With the qualifications he has, I sure hope that he decides to put his name in for the long term as well. It's nice to see those qualifications that he has, and I think he's going to work well with the city. And I thank you, Mayor, for doing your due diligence to find someone with those qualifications as well, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Councilor. Very well. Seeing no other comments or questions, we will now take a roll call vote. And to, I'm sorry, Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez, you have the floor to close the vote.
Thank you. So I'm actually blown away a little bit by the energy behind the equipment. And I really feel like at this point we have facility over there, so I'm wondering if it would be okay to just continue with him for the whole term.
I think that there would be a technicality, and our attorneys certainly can voice their opinion. The code does say appoint temporary judge to serve until a successor municipal judge has been duly appointed by the city council. So it could be as easy as a two-step process, at which point we officially affirm that successor municipal judge. So I'll just hand this right over to Jonas and just ask really quickly what that process.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, members of the governing body. That's a good question, Councilor Martinez. And you know, the actual language of your ordinance says that the city council may appoint a temporary judge to serve until a successor municipal judge has been duly appointed by the city council. So because that's a permissive may, I see that as discretionary for the body. And if you'd like to move right along to appointing him as a successor judge, I don't see that as violating the language of the ordinance, because the ordinance seems to leave it up to the city council's discretion as to whether it appoints a temporary judge or it just appoints a successor municipal judge at the meeting.
Okay, well, we'll have just two more questions. One would be, given that the agenda says appointment of temporary municipal judge, can we still bypass that? And the second question would be for Mr. and then back to Mr. Nehru, regarding the, agendized item of temporary municipal judge versus successor. Seems like a minor point.
Sure, and that's a good point, Your Honor, Mayor. However, in this case, I think the public is certainly on notice that there was going to be the appointment of a judge tonight. I don't think that, we're talking about temporary versus successor. They're both interim positions, and they're going to stand until there is an election of a municipal judge. So I would not have any problem if the council tonight decided that instead of just appointing Martin Martinez as a temporary judge, it went ahead and just appointed him as a successor judge.
Oh, that's the reason, motion to amend motion.
Mr. Governor, you wish to amend your motion?
Yes, I'd like to amend my motion to state that Mr. Martin Martinez will be appointed as municipal judge, interim municipal judge for the city of Espanola, to serve until the March 2022 municipal election, at which time a successor will be elected by the.
Okay, and just to simply add to that, if I may, first, we are declaring a vacancy.
Yes.
And we nominate Mr. Martin Martinez as successor judge until the March 2022 election.
Yeah, so, there's a vacancy in the office of municipal judge. That being said, I would like to motion to appoint Mr. Martin Martinez as our interim municipal judge to serve for the city of Espanola until the March 2022 city election, at which time a successor will be elected by the board.
Very good. And the second of the,
That would be absolutely, I am in favor.
very good. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any secondary comments or questions? Councilor Justin Salazar Flores.
Thank you, Councilor Medina, for bringing this up. Thank you so much for sharing this. I think this is a great idea. Thank you for stepping up for the remainder of this municipal year until our next election. Thank you.
Certainly. Very well. We have a motion. The second on the floor. Can we take a roll call vote? I think that music was appropriate.
I didn't even, I'm so sorry, because Councilor Peggy Sue Martinez. Absolutely in favor. Councilor John Albert Jr.
In favor.
Councilor Justin Salazar Flores.
Absolutely in favor.
Councilor John Montijo.
Absolutely in favor of the motion.
Councilor Manuel J. Martinez.
In favor of the motion?
Councilor Denise C. Benavides. In favor. Councilor Dorothy C. Valdez.
Yes, in favor.
Motion carries.
I do.
Councilor Dennis Kim Salazar.
Yes, I'm absolutely for the
Mayor
motion.
Pro
Yeah.
Tem. She's all like this. Motion carries.
Very well. I just wanted to make some final comments. It has been a whirlwind week, talking to as many folks as possible. So I really want to say thank you very much to Judge Alexandra Naranjo, who really helped me to put into perspective what the city really is and how much magistrate court knows she and also Judge Madrid would be willing to help the city of Espanola. We reached out to municipalities and the judges at Los Alamos, and Judge Allen was extremely helpful to help us to understand what we could do, what we could not do. The New Mexico State Supreme Court has also been extremely helpful in determining this path and this road that we have before us. So this could not have been possible without tremendous input from so many people. And of course, Mr. Martin Martinez, and taking the time out to discuss with us what the goals are, what the job requirements will be, and how you shall fulfill them. So thank you very much to the counselors who have been very helpful and instrumental in guiding this process, because we wouldn't be where we are if I couldn't reach out to one of you and discuss that openly, frankly, and with as much help as we can for this. So that having been said, Mr. Martinez, congratulations. Now Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And we'll now go into the swearing in. Mr. Judge Naldo, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're so appreciative of that. We have Mr. City Manager Javier Martinez here, who will be holding the Bible, and we also have our city clerk, interim city clerk, Ms. Serrano. And I apologize.
Mayor Sanchez, city councilors, and Judge Martinez, city employees, everybody that's with us, what a pleasure and an honor it is to join you this evening and be able to administer the oath of office. Are you ready, sir?
Hold on, we're almost ready. Councilor Becky Martinez is adjusting the camera footage. He's right on the.
Oh,
All right.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me, sir? I, Martin M. Martinez,
I, Martin M. Martinez,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of interim municipal judge
to the office of interim municipal judge
in the city of Española,
in the city of Espanola,
state of New Mexico,
state of New Mexico,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
and the ordinances of the city of Española,
and the ordinances of the city of Espanola,
and I will, to the maximum of my capacity,
and I will, to the maximum of my capacity,
defend, support, and pledge my loyalty
defend, support, and pledge my loyalty
to the citizens of Española
to the citizens of Espanola,
and faithfully and impartially discharge
and faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of said office
the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Judge Martinez.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez, would you care to say a few words? Very briefly, really hasn't planned on it, but it's something that I have to get off my chest. And it involves the mayor. No, Mayor, you almost have to send the Espanola Police Department and the Sheriff's Department to drag me down off the Coyote Mountains. I had just packed all of my camera gear. And I was headed to Youngsville. But fortunately, you caught me in time. Because the one thing I never, ever do is check the forest roads before I hit them. If it hadn't been for you, I might still be in Coyote. In the Coyote. I just want to say that it's an honor to come before you folks, and a privilege to get them appointed as your municipal court attorney. As
The one thing that I intend to ensure is that as your municipal court judge, I will fulfill all of my duties. I do want to put in a good word for the staff at the municipal court. As city attorney and then as a sole practitioner, I had the opportunity to work with municipal court staff. And I have to say that the city is fortunate that we have such a professional, competent, and hardworking staff at municipal court. I look forward to working with them to achieve all of our goals and all of our objectives. And to the citizens of Espanola, I guess I want to make one point that to the citizens of Espanola and surrounding communities who may come in contact with the court, I will be fair and impartial with every individual that comes before me. Again, thank you very much for your confidence in me and for having given me the opportunity to serve the city one more time. Thank you, Mr. Madrid. Appreciate it. Forward to work. Very well.